the first thing we do is to really tune in. And one of the things that we can always start with is our physical body. What are the sensations? And as well, the energetic, the subtle body, what's going on there. And we notice our emotions, especially if you're going into your heart center. Is Mother's Day a day of joy? We have these days that come up that we experience as a culture, and oftentimes the kind of the generic experience or what gets shared is not the real true experience for many of us. There's a lot of grief. We might have lost children. We might have had living children who died. Our mothers might be gone, and that's really sad for us. We might really be missing them. Or we might be sad because we didn't have the kind of a relationship with our mother where we felt as close as the Mother's Day cards. So just to acknowledge that there could be a real complexity and variety of emotions that aren't all authorized by the Hallmark Channel, that we have real feelings that are not always considered or validated in our culture, especially when we have a day like Mother's Day, which is quite often really sugar-coated in the public realm anyway. So as you're tuning into your heart, just take a moment just to notice what's here. And notice that the diaphragm is just under the heart. And we could notice the rhythm, the movement of the diaphragm as we breathe. Anchor into the breath. Notice where your mind goes. Notice where your emotions go. And then let's pull back and focus on the relaxation through the body for a moment. Notice your forehead and eyebrows. Let go of any worry or concern. And as you're breathing out, let your forehead soften. And notice your mouth and jaw. Let your tongue soften. Whenever we're inquiring into relationships, what we see, what we hear, what we say, what we communicate through our muscles around our eyes and forehead, they're such a deep part of relationship. Allow ourselves to come to rest in the face, mouth and jaw. Notice what's happening in your thought stream. And then come down into your mouth and throat, into your throat center. Notice what's happening there. Also very related to speech. Speech that's spoken, speech that's held in. And down through your neck and shoulders. Back of your neck, the upper back, the whole of your shoulder girdle. The front of your neck, collarbones, large muscles of the chest. And so many of us carry such a burden. If you could let that release, bring your shoulders up, maybe if you want, on an inhale. And then let them go. Let yourself release on the exhale. And if you could lay down your burdens, what would be different? What is in that energetic backpack of burdens that we carry around? One thing that I think we can all relate to, whether it's in relationship to our parenting or whether it's in relationship to being parented or in any other relationship, is I let go of the burden of being perfect. I let go of the burden of judging myself or shaming myself for not being perfect. Feel that through the whole of your neck and shoulders, your back, chest, your heart center. I'm willing to let go of the burden of expecting myself to be perfect. And let the tension in your shoulders ease. Let your shoulders soften, let your body soften. Bring your awareness down into your belly and into your breath. It's okay for me to soften my belly and release any tension or tightness through the breath. It's okay for me to take a deep in-breath and nourish my body. And each time that you breathe out, let your burdens ease a little bit more. Let a wave of relaxation come through your body, through your arms and hands, through your legs and feet, through the whole of your body. And focus your attention in your heart center, the front and back of your heart center, the large muscles of your upper back, of your chest, your neck and shoulders, and let go as you breathe out. Let go of the burden. Let go of the burden of expecting yourself to be perfect, shaming yourself for not being perfect. Let that all go. Let yourself soften. And stay regulated through noticing your breath, noticing that we're right here in this moment. We're not in the past. We're not in the future. We're right here now. And can you stay connected with yourself? And breathe in the nourishment. Breathe out anything that's holding you back. And we could acknowledge some things that are true. I was not a perfectly behaved child. My relationship with my parents was complicated. At times, it was better than other times. When I was a child, I was really pretty powerless to change that relationship. And I can hold that as I was not a perfectly behaved child, and my parents weren't perfect. There's room here for all kinds of complexity and nuance. And I could let go of any burden of shame. Practice that on the out breath, letting go. And over, we release, we let go, we let our shoulders soften, our belly soften. We validate that we're allowed to have the feelings that we have. We're allowed to feel hurt, to have any emotions that we have. We're allowed to feel love and connection, anger, grief. We're human beings who have such a range of experience. I'm willing to let go of the burden of shaming myself. And if you're a parent, either biologically or any other way, bring yourself to that part of the inquiry. There may be many things that we regret as parents. I can't imagine a parent who doesn't regret some things. And I could let go of the burden of shaming myself. I was not a perfect parent. And to acknowledge all of the complexity, the joy and grief and frustration and anger and sadness, all of the complexity of these relationships, especially intergenerational relationships of parenting. I could let go of the burden of shaming myself. Let your out breath soften your body. And notice what comes up in the mind. There might be all kinds of rebuttals to that. A longer inquiry could be helpful to look into some of that. Maybe you feel you don't deserve to let go of that burden. Just see if it's possible that you've carried it long enough. I could let go of the burden of shaming myself. And breathing out, let your whole body soften. And breathing in, let yourself have a full, nourishing inhale. And for the next few minutes, just see what comes up. Come back to and remain connected with your body and your breath. This moment in time is what we're in right now. And as your body softens as you breathe out, could you let go of shaming yourself for not being perfect? And then as you rest in your heart center, bring to mind anyone who you just want to connect with in your heart for a minute. Let them be here with you in your heart. You might have a visual of them or a felt sense or a memory of hugging them or seeing their face, whatever it is. There might be more than one. Let yourself have some time in your heart center. And we're practicing letting go so that we can love, we can connect. Let yourself feel the love, feel the connection, feel your open heartedness, your good heartedness. And if there's any objections still in your mind, let them go to the background just for another minute or so. Cultivate the love that's in your heart. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders soften. Let the large muscles of your back release any tension. The sides and the front of your rib cage, the muscles of the chest. Let yourself really feel the complexity of human relationship. And focus on your own open heartedness. Might be a bunch of other things here too, but focus on that just for another minute. Let yourself have that big, nourishing in breath and that relief as you let go anything that's not serving you right now. And before we close, bring yourself into a hug position. Put your right hand under your left armpit near your heart, your left hand on your right shoulder, and let yourself have this support of your own hug. Feel the left hand on your shoulder, your right hand by your heart under your rib cage. And breathe. Feel the strength of that support. And then bring your hands to your heart. Let yourself feel that love and support again. The warmth of your hands, the support. Let yourself take in some deep in breaths, long exhales. And when you're ready, open your eyes.